And one thing that we are just been so thrilled with is not only are we here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S., but we have attendees that are joining us virtually worldwide, as well as we have people who travel far and wide to be here. We have all, between our attendance here and virtually, we have 340 attendees. I am also very pleased to announce that this year marks the largest number of physicians in attendance. And we actually have a number of physicians who have been attending virtually as well. So we're just so thrilled that we continue to grow, we continue to reach. And we, when I talked about worldwide, I wanted to recognize some of the countries that from our attendance list. So we have some folks from Australia, Brazil, and actually we have a number of people from Brazil here on site. We have a number of people from Canada here on site. Woo! Virtually, we have some people from England. We have had someone on site from Germany. We have someone on site from Ireland. So thank you all for traveling this far. Virtually, we also have some people from Italy, New Zealand, Norway, and the United Kingdom. So thank you all for making this a global conference. Thank you. We also want to recognize the nonprofits that are attending either here in person or virtually. So we had the American Lipedema Association, who also had a booth here at our conference. We have the Lighthouse Lymphedema Network. They also were exhibitors here, and that many of the members are here in attendance. We have some folks from Lio Lipedema Italia, so the Italian group. Woohoo, this is our sister organizations. Lipedema Canada, they're here. The Lipedema Foundation, I think everyone has gotten to know them this weekend intimately as they have been participating in the biobank. The Lipedema Support Northwest, this is a new nonprofit organization. The Lymphedema Advocacy Group and Obesity Action Coalition. So, you know, the old saying, it really takes a village. It is so great to partner with and to experience different conferences with different nonprofits that we all have a similar objective in mind. All right, we got to recognize our first-time attendees. How many, please raise your hand for our first-time attendees. Woo! So excited. We are just so thrilled that you're here, and we hope that not only are you learning a lot, because I know myself, this is I think my 10th conference. I learn something new every year, so I hope you're just taking it all in. If you are a patient, we understand exactly how overwhelming all the information is going to be, but let me tell you, buckle up for tomorrow. It's going to be an emotional journey as we celebrate some patient journeys and hear all about that. How many of you, this is your second time attending? Okay. How about who has been to 3 conferences? Awesome. How many of you have been to 4 conferences? Ah, love this. Okay, who has been to more than 5 conferences? Ah, give yourselves a round of applause. Just so exciting to see, one of the things that we love about the FDRS conference is just the sense of community. Whether you're a patient, whether you're a physician, a researcher, or a therapist, or someone in between, we have formed a community, and it really is like coming back to family, coming year after year, and we couldn't do it without you. I made this screenshot earlier today. I'm going to show it again tomorrow, because the numbers just keep going up, up, and up. And can't read with my progressives on here, but one thing I wanted to point out to you is we have at the time I took the screenshot, we had 3,900 roughly 3,900 messages. The average in a HUVA event is 1,200. We have been engaged. We have been so fortunate to be able to use the Whova app, not only to connect with one another, but also to be able to provide that virtual attendance for those who are watching from home and really give a sense of community. And I encourage you to continue the community boards. I encourage you to reach out to the exhibitors, reach out, make some connections, ask questions of one another, because that's what this is all about. We're all here to learn from one another, and as well as share our experiences. And also, don't forget to upload some photos. We like to see what everybody's up to, and especially for the virtual attendees, please take a picture, take a selfie of yourself watching the conference, because we're very, very engaged in that. You know, for those of you who don't know me, I am Cheyenne Brinson. I am the president of FDRS. I've actually had a couple people say, so what do you do? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the president of FDRS. And obviously one of our biggest events every year is bringing this conference together. But the conference, even though I'm the one who has the big mouth and I'm the one who gets up on stage and do all this thing, this event would not take place without some pretty remarkable people. So I'd like to recognize those folks. First of all, I want to recognize Brianna Garrett, our secretary, so please stand. I'd like to also, our research coordinator, Polly Armar. Where's Polly at? Okay. I see one of our board members is outside the room right now, so I'll come back to her. Oh, she's coming. Okay. So our treasurer is Miriam. She was Miriam Aladdin when we met her, but now she's Miriam Aladdin Albuquerque. And our other board member is Jerian Wheaton. And making their debut as board members, they are officially part of the board as of this week. So we have two new additions. They are joining us virtually. Hello, Michelle and Danielle. Michelle and Danielle have also been engaged with all the virtual attendees, navigating, helping people get connected, helping them troubleshoot some things, and they have just been such a tremendous help, and we are very much looking forward to having them on the board. Now, I would be a little remiss, see if I can do this, I'd be a little remiss not to recognize our assistant, Brittany St. John, who can't be with us today because she's recovering from having breast cancer surgery. So she has been a fantastic help. Many of you, if you've emailed events you know who Brittany St. John is, because she's the one who's been helping you so much. I might be a little teary too because she's my sister. So it's been a interesting. Thank you. So a couple of people are like, Cheyenne, you look really tired. I am also recovering from pneumonia. So I've had pneumonia. My sister got diagnosed with breast cancer and then had surgery. So it's been a lot. But coming here just makes it so worth it and puts life into perspective of what a great group we have and what a great organization we have. And so I could not just be more proud. We have a lot of first-time attendees, and as we continue through the conference, I'd like to hear from you about how did you find FDRS? How did you find out about this event? And I know a lot of people have asked, who are you? What do you do other than the conference? So FDRS is dedicated to improving the quality of life for all people affected by adipose tissue disorders by supporting research, education, advocacy, and collaboration. And that takes many different forms. Obviously, this is the biggest thing that we do all year. It takes a lot of time and effort, but some of the other things that we do is we actually go to different specialty societies where medical professionals are speaking, and we become exhibitors. And that allows us the opportunity to connect with different providers out there. In fact, I have a question for you. How many of you enjoyed Dr. Egan's presentation this morning? Yeah, right? We met Dr. Egan at Obesity Week. And when we met, and when people come to our booth, the first question that we ask them is, are you treating patients with lipedema and Derkham's disease? And it was very heartwarming to hear the number of physicians come to us, because it was mostly, that particular conference was mostly physicians, and many of them shared with us that, yes, indeed, I am treating lipedema, or I am, and I'm going to hold on Derkham's because I have something I want to share about that. But Dr. Egan says, oh yes, I actually do a lot of lectures about lipedema. And I was like, hello, come to FDRS. And she says, I've been wanting to come, but there's always been a conflict. So we reached out to her, and she said, yes, I would love to be here. So that is actually how we met Dr. Egan and was able to bring have her as a speaker today. So the connections that we're making and getting in front of more medical professionals is significant. Now, I might have been a little asleep at the wheel, so people are coming to our booth, talking to us about lipedema, and the reason let me back up for just a moment. The reason we went to that conference is because Dr. Stephen Dean was speaking. And it makes sense for us to be there when there's a speaker on a related topic, because in one, they could direct people to our booth, and then also just to have that familiarity. And so as physicians were coming, we talk to them about lipedema, and then we pull out our Derkham's card and say, are you also treating patients with Derkham's disease? And the number of young physicians said, yes, I can. Because I know about lipedema and Derkham's because it was on my board exam. Let that sink in, everybody. So physicians pursuing an obesity medicine fellowship have questions on their board exam relating to lipedema and Derkham's. So this is a new generation that are aware of these conditions now. We have a long way to go to educate more, but these are the baby steps that are happening in our community, and we couldn't be so more proud. So let's give them a round of applause for making it to a board exam. So we get asked frequently, is like, why is your name Fat Disorders Resource Society? So FDRS was actually founded 15 years ago, and I'm like looking around. One of the founding members of FDRS is Dr. Karen Hertz, and there was a handful of other patients at the time, and actually there was actually more Derkham's patients when FDRS was formed. And there's Sue was the first president of FDRS. Now, when early, and I say early, not even 15 years ago, we referred to the 4 fat disorders, and there's actually published literature that refers to fat disorders, and we're speaking about lipedema, we're speaking about Derkham's disease, we're speaking about Madeline's disease, and we're speaking about familial multiple lipoptomosis, which I cannot talk now. So we refer to ourselves as fat disorders. That's how the Fat Disorders Resource Society was formed. Over time, we started moving away from fat disorders, and then we started saying that we were an adipose tissue disorder. And then with a standard of care that came out now a few years ago, we're now a loose connective tissue disorder. We're still evolving as to what we are. And I did want to give a message here, and this is actually something that's published by the Cleveland Clinic, that adipose tissue, otherwise known as body fat, is a connective tissue that extends throughout your body. We all have fat. I know there's a lot of people we've held onto some things in our life, but we need to take that word back. There is nothing. We have a fat disorder. It is an adipose which is adipose tissue, and now we're considering it part of that loose connective tissue disorder. So we wanted just to give you a little bit of a history of how our name came to be. I wanted to also share with you, this is a picture of the first FDRS conference? Now, not pictured are the speakers, who included Dr. Karen Herbst and Linda Ann Kahn. So when we say that they are the OGs, they really are the OGs. So they are the OGs of the FDRS. So we could not be more proud of where we've come. Now, do we still have a long way to go? Absolutely. But look at where we've come. I look back in the 11 years since I received my official diagnosis. And when I received my official diagnosis, I should have written it down, like how many people were in Lipedema Sisters at that time. It wasn't that many. FDRS didn't have that many followers on Facebook. And what has happened in the last 10 years has just been tremendous. So while we need to, I think sometimes it's good for us to to recognize and celebrate what has been accomplished in the medical community around us as we continue to advocate and push for more resources, whether it be research, whether it be getting more clinicians involved in understanding and being able to treat patients with any type of adipose tissue disorder. FDRS cannot be made possible without our sponsors. And I'm not going to go over it. If you want to read how we determine where we go for a conference, that is on our conference website. There's a lot of factors that goes in. Hosting a conference of this size is a significant financial investment for the organization. And one of the things that we are so committed to is making sure that it is, and I use these air quotes, affordable as possible. And we couldn't do that without our sponsors because the cost of putting on a conference exceeds the ticket price for patients. So I want to take this time to recognize our platinum sponsor, which is Advanced Lipedema Treatment, Dr. David Amron and his group. They are platinum sponsors in here. So let's give them a round of applause. Our gold sponsors, Art Lipa, which is Dr. Sue, who is unable to attend because he got sick, which I can totally empathize with. But let's give him some recognition, Art Lipo. And then the Lipedema Foundation is also a gold sponsor. Thank you so much. And we want to recognize our bronze sponsor, East Coast Lipedema, Dr. Shapira and team. Our other gold sponsor, our bronze sponsor is Granzel Lymphedema and Lipedema Center, which is Dr. Jay Granzel. And our supporter, BioFlect. We also had a number of exhibitors here. I hope everybody had the opportunity to visit with them and show our support to them as well. And just so happy that they chose to be here. I can say Marina was one of our exhibitors. They were a first-time exhibitor. It's like, yes, finally. And they already sent us a message, great conference, we will be back. Like, yes. So we love all of our exhibitors, and we just really couldn't do any of this without you. So. And last but not least, I want to recognize all of you. You have been a tremendous, just such the positivity that we have been feeling. We have felt nothing but encouragement and love, and just a number of people, and I don't see anyone just sitting by themselves. It feels like everyone, it just really is that community. So give yourselves a round of applause. Right.